My name is Goldman. I'm a director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan. And today we're going to continue our video series designed to educate the public on matters of family law. So please subscribe to our channel. Today we're going to talk about something very interesting, which is alimony, but not so much how you get alimony, how you calculate it, but what is the penalty for non-payment of alimony. Let me develop the picture a little bit for you. We're not talking about people who are splitting up and somebody doesn't help somebody pay a house payment. We're talking about there's already a court order. The court order says that every month so-and-so is paying so-and-so $1,000 a month alimony. Probably going to be called spousal support. But whatever you call it, that's what it is. And there's already a court order that says it. The judge has already signed off on that order. It is in place as a directive of the court, and the person fails to pay it. Then what happens? Well, I want you to know that apart from owing a debt, which is generally looked at as a civil kind of matter, failure to pay court-ordered support can also be looked at as a quasi-criminal matter. That is to say, a person can be prosecuted and jailed for not paying certain types of support. So what normally will happen is, if a person fails to pay support, the main thing the court wants to do is get the person's attention and get him or her to start paying. So what will probably happen is the court's show cause mechanism will be put in gear, and that means that a petition will be filed by someone to show cause why the payor should not be held in contempt for violating a court order. That will be a hearing that the people will be entitled to come to and say, look, I'm entitled to alimony, I'm not getting it. And the other person will say, well, I owe alimony, but I haven't paid it for these reasons. It is very common when somebody gets show-caused or challenged for non-payment of support that the knee-jerk reaction is a petition by the payor to reduce or suspend support for whatever reason. Could be that they're unemployed. They don't have money anymore to pay support. There could be some major change in circumstances which has resulted in an inability to comply with the court's order. But what you got to understand is, if you have that inability to comply with the court's order, it's not good enough to just tell your ex, well, I can't pay, I lost my job. That's not how it works, because the court sees that you're responsible for the payment of that support until they tell you not to. And what does that mean? That means you've got to contact your lawyer and have an appropriate motion filed to suspend the support. The court will have a hearing and determine whether or not there's a change in circumstances, whether or not that is a reasonable thing that the court should suspend it, or maybe it's just not reasonable to suspend it. Maybe the court will find that it should be reduced in some way, or somehow tweaked so that maybe instead of paying it every month, you pay it every other month, but then a arrears develops and you pick that up later. There's different things that the court can do, but I'll tell you one thing. If you neglect it and simply don't pay it, you run the risk of having a bench warrant issued for your arrest. And I've seen it happen before. Clients ignore it. They think it'll go away. They don't appear at the show cause. The court issues a bench warrant for the person's arrest. They get rear-ended at a traffic light by some kid who's not being careful. The police come, they look it up, they see there's a warrant outstanding, and guess what? They end up taking you to jail. And you know what they make you do? They make you post a bond that brings you to the amount of money that you owe, a certain percentage of what you owe, and then of course the other side petitions for at least the bond and they get it that way. But you don't. My point is, you don't want to get involved in bench warrants and criminal sanctions and all these things. So if you are not paying your alimony and you have a good reason not to, like a loss of employment or income or whatever, you have to do the appropriate thing, go through the appropriate channels so that the court won't think that you're disobeying, but will understand that the circumstances have changed. Now, if you have any questions about that, reach out and we'll be glad to help you out.